Hey everyone, it's so nice to connect with you. I know it's been a really long time, and this is the December reading for 2020, and it's December 20th, but it's been quite a month, and so I just wanted to drop in and let you know that I've been really appreciating your comments and your inquiries towards when this was going to come out. So I appreciate your patience, and yeah, I just kind of wanted to explain a little bit about how the month has been energetically and as to why I've kind of waited a while to do that. Part of it in the beginning was because I was feeling a lot of the energy coming through like right at the beginning of the month, and it really just it was like a really stressful time with a lot of anxiety. And so then I just kind of got busy basically and just really had to like tap into the whole, I also have a shop, so there was a holiday. And anyways, blah blah blah. I'm here now, and I'm really excited to pull some cards and see what comes out. For a while I had been thinking that I'm like, shit, I'm gonna do a tarot reading, and then I feel like all I'm gonna be is like tapping into this thing where I felt like I had all this like advice or something to give. And the reality was I didn't really want the reading to come through like that. I really wanted it to come through from the cards, from spirit, from my guides, and from the guidance team that was helping me, do these videos and put them out there. The team that's been telling me to do this in the first place. So I've been waiting to be like super, super grounded. And as you can tell, I have been taking that really seriously, like giving a lot of space from Instagram, from a lot of the other types of work I've been doing, and really just like I'm right here alongside all of you, just trying to close up this year and close it up in a good way, and really like dive into like how do I recalibrate into the person I am now has been coming through the most. Like how do I recalibrate into what I've learned thus far, just living through 2020. Shit, we're in December, it's about to be done, and I don't know how it took more like 3 weeks to do this reading, but I'm low-key sorry that it took so long. I know you all were excited, and I'm really happy to just be here right now and come exactly how I am, and invite everyone else to do the same as well. So yeah, take a deep breath. Let everything go. And I invite you all to continue to breathe really deeply throughout however long I'm going to be talking. Might be a half an hour. I highly doubt it. Probably going to be like 45 minutes or something. We'll see. I'm always surprising myself. So, and I hope you all are as well. So, yeah, I hope that you guys find comfortable spots to just sit and take in what comes out, or what comes out of this reading for you. This is a general reading for the collective. That means that there will be things that don't quite resonate with you personally, but behind the symbolism or the story, the narrative part of this, of the cards and what they speak, there might be pieces that fit into other contexts in your life. So just be open to how you can cultivate a being receptive to what comes through. You know what I mean? And all that's kind of just long for take what's yours and leave the rest, basically, is what I'm saying. Yeah, I know. So I'm not at my usual spot that I do readings. I'm in a very special place. I don't have a bunch of stuff. I've got like my little piece of sage from my medicine pouch, and I've got like, one selenite wand. It's very unusual for me. I got some sweetgrass here, and I just have the couple cards that wanted to come with me on the current adventure that I'm on. So I'm really excited to see what comes up with this very simplified kind of out of office reading, if you will. It's kind of nice. It's really simple. I'm like not in my room that has like 8 million decks of different cards and like all of these crystals and, you know, talons of birds and whatever, like all this stuff, you know. So I'm just here with you guys. So anyways, I'm kind of rambling. I really don't want to re-record this, so this is just my first take, and I'm gonna put it up on YouTube. And I don't know how to edit, so it's just gonna be like this, apparently. Oh yeah, also I started another video for you guys like maybe December 5th, and the energy was so strong what was coming out. I was like, I don't know about this. I got halfway through and the video stopped. It was really potent information, and I actually, because I'm kind of a nerd, I took some notes about that reading that I do want to weave into this reading. Yeah, but it kind of just stopped, and I was like, okay, this isn't gonna be the track that I'm going to open up this portal with us, and this isn't gonna be the reading. So it just kind of was like 2 more weeks fucking flew by, you know how it goes, and here we are. Anyways, all right, love you guys all so much. If you're still watching me, feel free to like the video and to subscribe to my YouTube page, because I just realized I was gonna go live on YouTube and I fucking can't, because apparently you have to have, I don't know, some other stuff. I don't have it. So anyways, that'd be really helpful if you guys follow me on here so that I can have access to more tools when I do YouTube videos. Anyways, take a deep breath into your heart space. If you would like to, bring your left hand and put it down below on your like womb space around your sacral chakra, and just take a second to breathe in to your body, feeling that presence through your breath embody your entire being. And you can continue doing this as long as you'd like. I'm not really here to walk you through a bunch of meditations or breathing exercises, but I do want to encourage you to get comfortable and to check in with your breath, check in with how you're breathing, and see if you can deepen it and expand your lungs a little more, and soften your jaw, soften your neck, and just soften into this moment so that you can be the most receptive for whatever Spirit has to say for the collective today. That is my prayer. I've already been calling in my guides and ancestors and allies. I would like to offer just a little bit of smudge here for us as we are going into this reading, and I pray that this session brings all of us into alignment with our highest good. And I ask that all benevolent spirits here from this land, this sacred land here that I am on, the ancestors, my allies and guides, be present and guiding in clarity and direction for the entirety of this reading and beyond. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, and aho. Mama Ua Noa. All right, so I'm gonna pull some cards. Thank you for being here, and let's just see what's going on. You know, I think I was talking about earlier how, or maybe it was like last month, how I wanted to do I would love to do more in-depth readings for the astrological signs, but it sounds like a lot of work. But I'm thinking maybe in January I can start figuring out something there. Let's see what's going on. Okay, cool. That's interesting. Anyways, let's just see what's going on for the collective, and first few messages that are coming up here, and we will just kind of see how the flow goes. So I invite you to just continue to breathe. And the first kind of card that flew up is, thank you, is about stepping into our vision. It's a really interesting thing that has continued to come up as we navigate building a better system, which is kind of a great way to look at the way that we are dismantling the old system, because we can dismantle it as much as we want, and I pray that happens, and at one point it's going to be gone, but at that point, I fucking hope we've been doing the work that is bringing up a new system that is going to work within the context of where we are right now. And oh man, one of my friends today was saying something that just hit so hard as we've been trying to like really clarify where we're going this next year, and where I am going with Medicine Collective and how we are offering services. And this card's really similar to this stepping into vision idea, which is a great way to imagine where you're supposed to be, what you want to be doing. When, for anybody who's just like new to the path and is like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, I don't know where I fit in to this enormous reality that just like, you know, the veil just got lifted and now here I am and I hate my job and I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know what anything. Like, so anyone new on the path, like in that place right now, really needs to hear this, that you gotta let yourself just dream up pretty wildly what your idea of paradise would look like, so that you can get as close to that as you possibly can. If you have no idea what that even looks like, I mean, you gotta start expanding and making shit up. Like, I want to live by the water more, or I would like to do whatever. Like, if you can imagine what your dream, the highest reality, your paradise is, at least you have somewhere to kind of tether yourself to in terms of where you would like to be moving towards. And I can only hope that that includes doing things that are for beyond yourself, you know, that are also service to the collective, service from your heart, authentically giving what gifts and talents you bring to the table, and being of service and seen in that way. So yeah, my friend was like, oh, we're trying to write this mission statement, right, for like doing all this stuff, whatever. I'm not going to get into it right now, but for this thing, and I'm just like, this is my life's work. This is my whole heart. Like, I don't even know how to write this down, you know? And it's like, he was like, well, just write what would be paradise for you, you know, here. What would you imagine if it were paradise? And, you know, I'm not going to like get into the whole like meaning of that word. You know what I mean when I'm saying that. Like, what is your ideal reality? And that's really important, to hold that vision and to just keep taking steps towards it. And for those of us who are walking the red road and who are committed to our spiritual path, I'm really hearing that that's a big part of us getting forward to, and of us getting to these ideals that we have, that we want to see people. We want to see people reconnected to spirit. We want to see people connected to these plants as if they are these living beings that are in relationship with us all the time. Like, we need to wake up to these facts. And as much as maybe I would imagine most of you who are watching this video right now probably feel, that's not such a hard reality to exist in and hold and be aligned with. But there's a lot of people on this planet who are just like, plants aren't alive. And, you know, we're not here to just change everyone. We're here to change ourselves. So we have to walk forward holding the vision very clear, that our steps align, or our steps are being placed in alignment with that vision and that dream of what paradise is for us. And that is how we can help bring others up along with us. You know, like, what is coming out? Like, the authenticity of being exactly where you are and being real about that and sharing from that place is so much more potent than talking about like how you are whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, whatever you're spiritual and you teach this class or you teach meditation, but you're actually kind of a dick, or whatever the case may be. It's like, just be exactly who you are and move forward with it and hold the vision of that paradise. And yeah, and I'm also kidding that paradise that comes through is very much related to what your inner paradise looks like, right? This isn't just about how we want the world to be better and like more enlightened and more grounded and more fucking less brutal, right? Less like violent all the time. But it's like, what's the world that's inside of you? Like, how's that world going? I said that as I just killed a mosquito, I think. Anyways, not to be brutal or anything. Anyways, so we remember that we're not alone on this mission, and we remember that our ancestors are carrying us the wisdom of lessons we've learned in our past, in just this life, you know, like in our recent past, from all the, I'm sure y'all been through some stuff too, from all of the things we've been through. These things carry us forward, and we need to let them. We need to learn our lessons, and we need to carry them through with the honor that someone who really went through something and learned has, you know. Don't just toss it away. Don't be throwing your gifts away. Like, use them to move you forward and continue to step into that vision of what you want to see, not only happening around you on the planet, but also happening inside. Oh my God, this is so good. Okay, so the other thing that I was seeing at the beginning of this month that I wanted to mention, not to sound like a total weirdo, but I was low-key just like literally feeling the intensity of the collective, myself included, right? Because I am the collective just like y'all. But I was seeing that there was just this incredible amount of anxiety bubbling up, like people really starting to worry about like how they were gonna take care of their families and shit. And like and then on this other side of it, just like this general vibe of no reason at all, just like maybe everything had just kind of caught up with how intense it is, and it was like a feeling in the chest, and I was like, am I just having anxiety? I don't really have anxiety. So I was just like, maybe I am anxious, or I'm, you know, I've had too much caffeine or something. But I kept feeling it for like, it was like over there, and it was like that whole first week or so of December. It was a lot. So I wanted to mention that because I think we really need to remember that as we are all growing and expanding, we are going to we kind of got to go back to like square one with like, what is an empath? An empath is someone who very easily feels what other people feel, right? And I really don't want this to be some bypassy ass message to you guys to be like, oh, I just pick up on other people's feelings and it's not really my responsibility. I just like am super sensitive. That's cool and all. I get it. That happens. But it's time for us to really like take action so that other people's energies aren't affecting us. And yes, I am talking to myself as well, but I definitely am talking to you guys as well. So there's a part of this kind of thing that happened that felt really intense, and I tried to write it down. I'm not going to read it, but basically it was sort of just this message about when we are waking up, we are increasing our sensitivity, the connection through our heart, through our minds, our connection to the earth. There's a lot of energy and things out there, guys. So be careful with how you share your energy, who you let into your space, into your bubble, to what degree. Navigate and be decisive with your contracts and agreements, your boundaries, like you gotta really make sure that you have a solid understanding with who you are, like right here, just like so that you can say, oh, that isn't mine, or oh, this person's really nervous about their life. And for like, because let's be real, like there are people in our life that are going through, have been through a hellish year, have been sick, have lost everything, have an incredible amount of emotional pain or stress that they're carrying. This is not saying that's not important. This is saying we have to find what is ours and how we deal with it, and make sure in that way we are actually able to be of service a little bit to other people who are really suffering, those around us in our family, or vice versa. You're the person really struggling. How can you allow people to help you without like dumping your entire like cascading waterfall of pain all over them? Like how can you really like kind of check yourself while also receiving and taking like that step to receive help from friends and support? How can you do that while also like maintaining your dignity, your dignity and your grace with yourself, but still like opening? So I don't know, I'm just getting the words like dignity and grace is how we navigate those stressful things, that anxiety that is coming from like wherever you want. I mean, this is a whole rabbit hole wherever it's coming from, but like the frequencies that are emitted from Earth that are growing and changing throughout the cycles, the astrological shit that's going on. We have the Jupiter and Saturn conjunct. This isn't an astrology report. Everyone, like, people are doing that better than I am ever going to. So I'm gonna let you tap into that astrology tip on your own. But that is like not only going to be here tomorrow, but it's already been here for the last 8 years. Like, we are going into it, and it's happening now, and it's going to continue happening. It is very intense right now. Figure out how to separate what's yours and how you handle your own personal life stuff with the larger context of the collective and of the energy, that is also a like key player in this narrative that we get to be alive in. It isn't like, how do I tune it out? It's more like, how much power am I going to give it? And also, how much power am I going to receive from it? Because this isn't just bad things happening to us when the energy is like that. These are all portals. These are all gateways, and you open them up, and you get to learn things about yourself. Like, that the last couple weeks, like, I've been learning so much about how I respond, how I feel about a thing, and I write it down and I look and I go, wow, I guess that's really how I feel, And so I really invite all of you, dang it, this is turning into my advice. Okay, I was trying to get away from this, so I'm going to go back to the cards, but let me just say this about why I didn't do this reading earlier, is because I didn't want to do this. But anyways, bear with me. Thank you for bearing with me here, guys. Am I losing it? Okay. Anyways, getting really clear and allowing that contrast to bring you to higher places of clarity and of understanding about yourself is going to kind of be one of the ways that you're carried through this part of the river, of the channel, of life, of your life. So yeah, some Nine of Wands vibes. I haven't been reading the cards because I'm kind of just seeing them and like having a whole experience and trying to get it out of my mouth as fast as I'm like feeling it flow through my body. So it's like a weird sport. I don't know. It's like a weird, like, you can't get out fast enough sometimes because it's just like so much information. But do you see how it says, I am not alone, my ancestors carry me? And these cards are really potent. They're channeled beautiful messages from a very powerful dear sister of mine named Jessica. And this deck, I don't have any boxes here. This is how simple I'm living. They're all just like wrapped up in my cloth. But it's called the Story Medicine Tarot, if you want to look it up. I know some of you guys were asking about what cards I was using and whatever, and I'll try to go back and go into the comments and do that. Anyways, you know, let yourself be carried, and remember that there is more carrying you than just your own responsibility. And participating with your ancestors or your guides or just the animals you see around you or the feeling you have or just something that is unseen. Like if you're really starting from scratch here and you're just like, who is this lady? What the fuck is she talking about right now? Just remember, there is, like, you just put one foot in front of the other. Like, you can take steps to grow and have a connection with something deeper than yourself. And it will expand if you put the energy into it, because it's a relationship. And like any relationship, you get what you put into it. So some of you might not know exactly what I'm talking about all the time when I'm doing these. And I just want to say, like, you're still right where you're supposed to be. Don't fucking worry about it. Or, you know, you think you're doing it wrong. I'm feeling like there's some of you who feel like you're not doing it right, or there's like some other way you're supposed to talk to your ancestors, or how do I do this? I'm hearing, is this the right way? I hear, and I'm just, you know, just do it. Just do what's authentic to you. Are you showing love? Are you showing like honoring and reciprocity and gratitude? Like, start with whatever that looks like for you, and you're probably doing just fine. It'll grow. It'll continue. Continue to listen to the voices. Continue to listen to the feelings of ideas that flow through you, and build that relationship. I really feel, obviously, maybe it isn't obvious to some, but I feel like we are in a time right now that is the front of the war that we're in, you know, with like this matrix shit going on, is a spiritual battle. Like, this is a spiritual, like, war going on. And so as much as we need to stay healthy, keep our immune systems up, you know, focus on growing, like try to become the best versions of ourselves, as much as we're doing all that inner outer work, we like put the effort into your spiritual relationships. Put the effort in, because at the end of the day, your self-care is great, but you have to fall back on this thing that's larger, because that's what keeps us moving and keeps us in the flow and the alignment. And if you're kind of off there, it makes it harder, you know? It's not a linear thing. There's not like, I got to get to level 10 in order to do this. Like, there's no levels. It just is. It's your personal thing. Go figure it out. Invest in it just as much as you invest in your shoes and your wellness and your massages or whatever you do for self-care and food. Like, you're doing conscious things that you're investing in yourself. Go pray every morning. Go figure that out. And maybe figure out what your block is, undo it. You know, there's a lot of places that you can unpack and grow that cost $0. It's called a journal. And you can do that and make the time for it. So yeah. Anyways, okay. So I want to move forward and pull a couple more cards. Any messages for the collective at this time, for the month of December, moving forward, for the beautiful solstice that is coming up, for the holidays, for the new year in the Gregorian timeline, Any messages at all for the collective? Okay. We got work to do. I'm hearing. This card, man. All right, let's see what else. So, I love it. I'm just like, I feel a little, okay, God, this is going to be such a rabbit hole. But anyways, we got the card of change. I'm feeling like there is a lot of change that has been building up and that we are really working on in order to shift things. We see a lot of things that we don't like. We saw a lot of things that we do like, maybe being with our families, being home more, whatever. There's the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever. It's change. Here it is. If we want that to continue, I think this has been a year of unveiling. Come 2021, next year, or / next week, oh my God, is going to be a year more so of application. Like the truth came out this year, and next year is application time. And it's action, and it's this change that is solidifying. And as it solidifies, it permeates the earth matrix and changes it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like energetically. And we have to hold that frequency. And all this shit we want to change and we want to see changed. This card, I love this fucking card. Laziness. Which I've gone through like different kind of trains of thoughts about how I think that that's sort of a word that is capitalistic and super colonized, and like we live in a society where we're viewed as lazy when we're actually exhausted because we're doing the work of 5-10 people, and it's not fair. So let's all just take this word with a grain of salt and like feel it where it kind of let's tune into the place where it like kind of pinches us and you're kind of like, yeah, I've been kind of lazy there, you know what I mean? Oh, fuck this card. So I'm seeing that this is really something to look at for change. And if we want to see these changes, we will have to address the parts of us that have been complicit. And that I think is a better word than lazy. Feels really judgy, and I feel like most people who are quote unquote lazy are just trauma, misjudged, carrying most of the weight, like sleep deprived. I think of like, whatever. I just taking that word with a grain of salt for how lazy you are. But if you do feel it a little bit in a part of your life, like I have been lazy there, I have not been putting my physical well-being or like eating right, and it's not because of trauma or that I don't have access or because blah blah blah, it's because I am actually just kind of being fucking lazy. I want you to kind of just think about that, because the change isn't gonna happen like that. And there's a lot of different spinning spheres of our life that can be balanced out to bring us more energy into the places where we aren't putting it or aren't able to put it, you know what I mean? Like you're staying up too late, so you're not waking up to be able to do yoga. You could stop watching that show and commit to, just like making different agreements, making different contracts. Stop watching Netflix. I don't know, like really kind of commit to this thing where when you're like, I want to see this change happen. Look at this. I mean, look at this Gwei. This person is looking like chill, drinking like a pina colada with his pink slippers on. And he's just kind of staring at this change like, yeah, it'll happen. Things are going to be really awesome. We're just going to be living in paradise, and soon, there's going to be equality and, fuck capitalism, and we're just going to keep doing all this stuff and changing the world. But he's just kind of sitting there doing nothing. So I don't know who feels called out right now, but there's definitely parts in all of our lives that this could probably apply to, right? So, I do mean that in the most loving and humorous way possible, because I pretty much mean everything kind of humorously. But, you know, if you know me, you know. What else? Let's see. Yeah, that's a good message, huh? Yeah, we're really going into our uncharted territories here. This coming year is going to be that, but this reading's about December, and I feel like there's a lot of preparation for the possibilities for how we are going to address address the newness, okay? If we are really good at one thing and it's just like the one thing that we do and we have that figured out, and we can get kind of very, very rigid in it. So I feel like people need to remember that find that personality within yourself and let it live. Like, let that part of you live that is okay with you not knowing everything, and that's actually completely normal. And the part of you that is ready to embrace change. And it's okay that it's going to be different, because it's supposed to be different right now. We are creating the new reality that we want to. And there are so many possibilities. We have to keep our heads up, and we have to keep doing whatever we need to do to keep the wind under our wings and to keep going forward, so that we can see that next step and see those next steps of the possibilities that are out there. And I really feel like that's a big part of this dreaming, this time for dreaming for us, where we are really letting our imagination soar into what's the wildest thing you can imagine happening that you would love to see happen, like, without getting too much into fantasy, like, not to fantasize about it, but to like put a pin in it and be like, okay, that's what I'm gonna go towards. And I guess that keeps coming up because I think that there are a lot of things that people want to see changed, but they still don't see how it will work. How can billions of people survive here on this planet and work together? It's like, can everyone like, there's a lot of questions that people need to find better solutions, or problems that folks are trying to find better solutions to. And we need to remember that we are all starting off on like a new journey, and to honor the unknown, and to like maybe invest a little bit more of our cultivation of having courage and dropping the ego, being humble, and being like, I'm not sure the best idea, but I kind of had this idea that like, if we did this might work. Let's try that. Like, you gotta let go of these things. Like, I know what to do because I worked in programming for this long, and this is how we always did it before. It's like, we are not in before. We're not in before anymore, guys, in case you haven't noticed. Anyways, okay. So, yeah, and with that, just, letting go of the old, releasing how this year has been. That's gonna be really important. Y'all, we gotta wrap this up, okay? This isn't going to be the thing that just continues to hold the exact same, like, membrane and density and patterning of this year. We are going to continue to morph and change it, and that's why we have to continue to change and morph ourselves into the place that we've basically propelled ourselves. So, like, I guess another way of saying that, in case that was like a little too weird, is that we are catching up with how we have evolved in this year. You know what I mean? We're catching up, if not energetically, we're catching up with like the way we talk, or the way we move or even dress or even, you know, music we listen to. Like, we're still kind of doing that thing where we are figuring out how to release that old self. I feel like I talked about this a little last time, but this one is like a lot of this release energy, the death. So let it, like, really allow that to come through, and take some time for yourself to, yeah, courage. I mean, just like all the major arcana cards are just coming up, and courage to look at that, courage to let go of this year and what it has brought through. And by let go, like, we mean, it's like let go of it being the thing that's like right here. Let it be that piece of wisdom that like sits here and is a part of your toolkit, or maybe like sits here, you know, like, and is a part of your toolbox. Bring it forward with you. Let it be integrated. Let it be upgraded too, as a story that you get to bring with you, that you learned from, not just some shit that you went through and didn't die from. It's a thing you lived through. So bring that up with you as you process this year. Yeah, I love it. A lot of clarification has come through the contrast lately, and that clarification is like the highest way I can put it, because at the end of the day, just remember, this is like coyote energy, this is devil energy, and it is there to show us. So remember that it ain't a bad thing to be grateful for the way that things unfolded that brought you clarity. And the sooner you can accept how it is and what has happened, the sooner that you can find that spot where you sit and you really like see it clearly, and you see the medicine and how it was for you, and you feel grateful for it because it fucking changed you in a, like, for the best, in a good way. Like, it soothed your heart, healed you, really helped integrate parts of yourself that weren't making the mark, that weren't like where you wanted to. And so remember all of those things that tendencies and things that have brought you down, so that you're like really refining them through that fire. Like, you're breathing like, just like breathing that heat to it, and it just is illuminating the whole thing, and it's clarifying everything. You see the dark really dark, you see the light really light, and what is in between is the space you've chosen to sit with and integrate. And like, you are the eyes, you are the only eyes that are able to see the shades of what you're experiencing. And so that contrast energy, that devil energy, that trickster energy and medicine is clarifying. And as soon as you stop mourning for what it destroyed in your life, maybe this year, you might be able to come to a place of acceptance. And then you might be able to integrate why that would happen. Like, why would spirit do that if spirit isn't this being that's just trying to like punish you? Your intention was to grow. Like, okay, this lesson was here so that I could grow. And that's kind of what I'm pulling up about this year. Remember that this contrast was here to help us ascend, to help us grow, not to torture us and, you know, make us all feel isolated. That is, you know, a side thing of what happens when it reached us at the places that we were, right? Is reaching us at where we are. Okay, so I really want to pull one more. Yeah. Okay, so this is saying grow into it. You're growing into it. Some like after literally freaking like 4 major arcana cards coming through, we have this message that is just like the 7 of Pentacles. Like, we go with what is happening and remember that you are growing you got to grow into it, you know? Let's grow. This is a place and a time in our life that we're going to remember what we did. What did we do about it? The world was, you know, in the place it was, 2020, man, telling our grandkids, like, that shit was crazy. And you're going to remember the efforts and the investments that you made, and into what? For what? Remember it. So make your choices wisely and be graceful with yourself. Putting these ones back. And remember that there's a lot of help out there, you know. We're not just here sitting here doing it on our own. But what we do have to do on our own is still pretty gnarly. We still have to, like, get there. We still have to, like, show up. Anyways, I can't get over it. These guys are so funny. There's an effort. Yeah, and I'm also getting a little bit from the... because I just wanted to show you all these cards again. But I wanted to also mention that something else that's coming up with these right now is that there are those of us who... oh my gosh, I'm holding them way up there. Who need to remember that... that word. So I'm like decolonizing this word laziness. I'm just like, no, fuck that. Like, I do not need to work all the, like, that is not a healthy way to behave. That is not a natural state to be in. And like the whole matrix of capitalist society and just like literally breaking yourself is like, it's a strange and sick form of modern day slavery, the working class. Like, there's a lot of things that are so wrong with it that there's just no way for a human to be very healthy in that system. And that system is just like, is slowly disintegrating and changing, right? We're changing it. There's a lot of you who need to remember that. You're not lazy. You're working really hard at changing. And so, like I said earlier, I think I was talking more about like how we need to get to work. There's a lot to be dreamed up and to be held and anchored. There's still a lot of people who are like, I don't know, like working for the man, working 60 hours a week, being lawyers, like working like really crazy jobs that are demanding a lot for them. And be sure that you make time to see how you want that life to be, because if it's not what if you're not living in that sustainable vision now, it's time to get there, because that ain't the way. It's just not going to be the way. It's not sustainable, you know. Just like all this shit that we're doing isn't sustainable, and we're trying to not do it anymore, like you know, fossil fuels, single-use plastics, the fucking microplastics in the fish. Like, there's all this stuff that we're just like, oh my god, that is not gonna work. Oh no, you know, like we're looking at Earth and we're just like, this is not gonna fly. We can't live here if we keep doing that. And that's kind of one of those things. Anyways, I hope that made sense. I want to pull another card here from this deck that is called, I do have the box for this. It's called the Earth Warriors Oracle. And it's pretty cool. Anyways, I've been really liking this deck and seeing what it says, seeing how there's a lot of different messages going on here. I think the birds are coming out. I saw the craziest yellow, like, toucan bird come through and eat this giant spider that I let out of the house like the nice woman that I am. You know, I let this huge spider out of the house. It goes crawl across the floor, and I let the dude out, and the bird comes up and just immediately, like life ended, it goes in to be with bird. I was like, did I like participate in the assassination of that spider? Anyways, so I want to see like what are the last kind of messages for us here with this. Kaitiaki, Papatuanuku, Mother Earth, Father Sky. Let's see what comes up. I hope you all have been all right, though, really. You know, I worry for you all sometimes. I pray for you all, and I just really hope that you're able to find things that nourish you really well through this crazy time. And I hope that I can be part of that for you all, and also encourage you to find ways in which you can find other systems of support too. So yeah, I'm out here rooting for you as well. And we have I love it. So I'm gonna pull a couple and see how they speak to one another. We have Uluku Vahini. She who rides the owl brings justice. That's pretty cool. So this piece of justice this year, there's been a lot of injustice that we've been seeing. And there's a thing to remember that out of the darkness, the light was born. You know, out of the darkness, the light was born. And at any point in time, you're either somewhere in that process, or you're experiencing somebody else or something else go through that process. So remember to find the larger picture in that, and that is one way to not get so disheartened, to remember that we are doing this. It's going as fast as it can. Everybody's as ready as they can be. We're right where we're supposed to be. And justice is gonna arrive. It already has. It already is. And it's probably in places that are getting into the cracks as they slowly erode the foundations of these buildings, these constructs that we have built a long time ago that are you know, time to burn down, time to go. So this justice is a really big part of the movement this year. And it's really important to remember your place in bringing the light, not in just holding the darkness, right? Sorry, my phone keeps going. Okay. Yep. And so as we awaken to how we hold injustice, we are awakening to the force that's greater than that injustice, and that is our love. And that is our ability to sit in our own power. Really hard to change a system that you're participating in with, like, from the inside out. And so I see this being a shifting from holding the knowledge that things need to change, and seeing with very clear eyes what's wrong, and then also being able to, like, go beyond that so far that you're like, I see how all of this happened, and I'm going to go forward and bring my full power to the situation, which is going to be a different vibration than the problem itself. It's going to be through love. Come on, guys. People have been writing books about this for a while now. People have been talking about this for a long time. I'm not saying there's not a place for more direct actions that are going to impact immediately, but I am saying that overall we need to be putting ourselves to task in how we go about changing things. Because if you're not fucking with the real power, you're not going to do very much here in seeking justice and in coming out of the darkness with light. Like, really shining a stuff. This whole year's just been lifting that veil one after another, just like exposing illusion over and over again to ourselves in the mirror, and to our communities, to the rest of this society that we live in, this whole system, and the utter fuckery that is going on and that it's been built upon. And we're just like pulling these veils off, right? And it's infuriating, right? And a lot of us are seeing it for the first time. Some of us have been in the fight since the day we were born. Either way, it's pretty exhausting. And the only way for it to be a sustainable fight is to awaken the power within that is actually something we can like lean back in and be in all the time. Otherwise, we are not moving in a sustainable way. And what was that other card that we pulled up that was releasing, it was the death card. It was releasing old patterns, basically. So we are releasing those old patterns. We are bringing those into the new cycle that we are entering into. We are calling it all forward, all parts of ourselves, and integrating and really using our own awakening as the catalyst for change within and without. Yeah. And so there's a lot of there's a lot of reflection as to how we can be that being to reflect ourselves in a way and see the reflection in others in a way that continues to perpetuate the possibilities that we're dreaming up, the new version of this world, the paradise that we would like to see it in, the food that's growing on the streets, the people who have running water, like all of these things we want to see. We got to look at people and make sure that we're always reflecting that and like holding that alignment very strong so that we can use the most potent fuel available. You know what I mean? You're going to be running some high octane stuff in a new vehicle, and you got to make sure you're not putting like shitty gasoline in it, right? We need to be like really upgrading all parts of our life. So gosh, anyways, that's about it. Just want to pull one more card. Yeah, so these two are really speaking together a lot. This like I said, Puma, this has kind of been a year of big cat energy. I don't know if anybody else noticed. And like big birds. Has anybody have, I don't know, I have like all these dreams and times with big birds, like the guacamayo, and big like lions and jaguars and stuff like that. But it's not that unusual for me, I guess. So maybe everyone is like this. Anyways, the Puma, the awakening power, totemic Puma, and then the source energy. These are like sources of our energy here. And I'm really seeing that this is a call to utilize the creative forces that we have, the creative power that we have, the source energy, the power that creates universes, right? And the multiverse is just this series of multiple universes happening at the same time, just totally overlapped on top of each other. If you know, you know. And so connect in with that source that is so large. Don't hurt your brain thinking about it. Just like open your heart to it and tap in so that you can stay grounded in the largeness of this process. This isn't just these tasks you got to do. This is like a whole ass experience and process of growing and of being human, of being, whatever we are after we're human, of being these spiritual beings that are moving and transcending and growing. Like, we're participating in a very large cycle here. So remember to stay connected to the thing that brought you into this, because life is a gift and we're all here for a reason, and we get to kind of choose what that is and how we're going to express it. So don't forget to be grateful for that gift. And I wish you all the best winter solstice ever. I hope you're all aligning and breaking cycles and coming into a newness where you feel like the wind under your wings and you're soaring and really choosing where you want to go with that. Much love to you all. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. I'll try and see you really early in January. Okay, much love.